now like to call to order this meeting of the Gettysburg Area School District Board of School Directors on this Monday, November 19th, 2018. First of all, I'd like to recognize all the people that are here tonight. We've got some students and staff members that are going to do a presentation tonight. Welcome. And all the guests that are here, appreciate you coming out tonight. We'd like to especially recognize, we have some Boy Scouts out there working on a badge, I believe, right? So you're here for the, probably the government part. Pardon, community? Citizenship.
Community.
Okay. Would they like to introduce yourselves?
My name's Sean.
Well, welcome.
I used to come to this school.
He didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm Isaac.
Isaac, okay. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming out. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct the business of the Gettysburg Area School District. Public comment is welcome, and issues will be referred to the appropriate board committee or administrator. Please know that issues will not be debated in this public meeting. Comments will be summarized in the official board minutes, which will be available by contacting the business office. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. Mrs. Collins, please take notice that all board members are here except for Mr. Henderson, who is excused tonight. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there any notices and communications from any board members? Mr. Net, there are no citizens that want to speak tonight? Okay, thank you. Board committee reports.
Mr. President, the policy committee met on November 13th. Discussed several policies that are on for first read tonight. 210.1, possession and administration of asthma inhalers and epinephrine auto-injectors. 712, which is school security. 805, which is emergency preparedness. And a new policy, 815.1, on social media. Those are also two administrative guidelines on for information tonight, an update to school security administrative guideline 712, which deals with communications, and we are retiring a very, very, very outdated AG 805 that really isn't necessary because one is its way out of date, but two is the information that everyone needs is already in the policy. So when we get down to policy, you'll see all those things appear. The next meeting is December 11th.
Thank you for that report, and thank you again for all the work that you do. Any other reports?
The Communications Committee meets again on January 23rd, 2019.
Okay.
Finance, Buildings and Grounds had to postpone last week due to weather. The meeting is tomorrow at 4. We're going to be looking at the 5-year plan. So hopefully to approve those items so that we can make a recommendation in the December meeting.
Thank you. Dr. Cronin.
Good evening. Just quickly, I want to call your attention to item 10.1, approval of the comprehensive plan. We are required to have that document posted for 30 days, so it was posted in October. Thank you, Hewitt, for some feedback and some corrections that I was able to make after work before the meeting. So hopefully if you had any questions, you were able to reach out to me in advance, but look forward to that being approved and that's submitted. I'll need a signature from Dr. Stern for its submission by the deadline. Thank you.
Thank you for the work that you did to put that together.
Winter arrived quickly during fall last week. So we had obviously our first school cancellation. That means that January 18th is now a school day. That's the first of 5 makeup days. We're hoping that's the last snow for the year. Yeah. Any other wishes while I'm wishing that? Also want to point out that December 5th, we're going to be having the social media parent night at the Batesburg Area Middle School. The Office of the Attorney General is going to do a 1-hour presentation for parents on how to help manage your child's social media accounts. Our first informational email went out for that, and we'll be sending a follow-up one shortly to ask folks that are planning to attend to give us some information so we can best provide things like childcare and snacks and making sure that we're planning for the event the best of our ability. So we're looking forward to that. After the last meeting, just for your information, I met with Christine Miller, who's the director of Vita Charter School, and just kind of sat down with her and gave her kind of a rundown on what our team's process would be in order to respond to their request. And it was a great meeting, and she kind of knows what our process will be. So we'll go ahead and move forward with that, and then our team will come to the board with a recommendation once that process has concluded. And I'd like to wish everybody in our district community a very, very happy Thanksgiving holiday later this week. Thanks.
Thank you. Now at this time, we will going to have a presentation of technology students that did the cosmetic hand project. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members. My name is Kevin Hardy. I'm a faculty member at the high school. I teach in the Career Technical Education Department of the Engineering Program of Study. Most of you have heard, I'm sure you're all aware of Andrew's presentation, Andrew Robertson's release in the summer, the story with the 3D prosthetic hand that engineering students did. We're here to formally present that project to you, provide you a little more of the details of it, and actually it's the students that are going to tell you about it and how this project came to be, how it has evolved, and how it has impacted community citizens. So I'm going to turn it over to seniors Garrett Young and Adam Thomas and let them provide the presentation for you.
I'm Adam Thomas.
I'm Gary Young. As Mr. Hardy said, we are the 2 students who are working on this 3D printed hand project.
We kind of tell people that we kind of fell into this a little bit backwards, that we were contacted back in April of 2018 when a TSA advisor, actually from the State College area, came to us and said that a Chambersburg resident had come to him looking for a prosthetic and thought that we would be a good fit for it because we're much closer. And once we kind of thought that, yeah, we'll give this a try, we started looking at, like, the first steps were the legal issues that we wanted to face with, just to make sure that we were going to protect everyone. That's still been kind of an issue that we've been looking into more. But also, right after that, we started jumping straight into it and started researching more devices. And that's kind of how we found the 2 main companies, which are Project Enable the Future and also the Million Waves Project.
So Enable the Future, it has many different designs of hands on their site as an open source sort of thing, so anybody who comes in can access these files and they can print out a hand for themselves or someone in need, like we did. And the design that we picked was actually called the Cyborg Beast, which is this model right here. And we said the files were open source and were able to be found on a site called Thingiverse.
So the other company that we kind of really got in touch with was the Million Waves Project, and their whole goal is to actually take recycled plastics from the ocean and take it, recycle it, and then make it into new filaments so they can be put towards making affordable prosthetics for other people. And also they provide us with our first hardware kit for making these individual hands, that they take donations and they will actually use that to buy kits and send them out to schools and organizations who are trying to help people. And that's the picture up on the top left is actually from their website that they featured us on there.
So as I said earlier, the model that we chose was a Cyborg Beast, It was created by Jorge Zuniga. He's from Creighton University. And the original prosthetic that we made, all the files we downloaded from Thingiverse, and we scaled them up. This is the original prototype. They were scaled to 140% of the original scale. And it took around 14 hours of print time. That does not include any of the assemble time or the time that it took to take tensioning and anything like that. Along with that, so it took a few fitting days, and the final adjustments were actually made during the summer on July 3rd due to complications with our 3D printers we experienced during the school year. And with this hand, one that Natasha is wearing tonight, she was able to pick up something the first time since her surgery, and she was able to use the device over the summer, and she provided us with feedback on the design.
So some of the feedback that we did get was that she really liked using it, and then the really important thing was that she actually showed it to her doctor and they got approval with it, that they liked it. But there were some drawbacks with the design, that specifically with like the gauntlet, the black piece on the back of it. It's just a large piece on it, it's hard to make, and also it's just bulky and gets hot during the summer. So we really wanted to redesign it to kind of address all these issues and keep going with the engineering design to go back through and remake it, make it better. So we kind of redesigned everything from the wrist back ourselves and make more of an open design to make it a lot cooler. And then we also changed the tensioning on it, because before we had to use bolts or a similar tensioning style, and that can take up to an hour to try adjusting it. It's kind of hard to do, especially if something does break. So to make it more reliable, came up with a sliding tensioning system. So you can actually go ahead and change each individual finger where it engages. And then also on the back of it, there's still a dial. So we made it so we can actually adjust where it'll actually engage and grip based off how much you turn this, which just makes it a whole lot easier for her to adjust that. If she finds that she wants to engage it earlier, it's just a quick on the fly, not a 20-30 minute process just to adjust a couple strings. Kind of the one thing we like to tell people is that engineering department, that we've always been really hands-on with it. This is just a really awesome project to get to work on, to actually see that we're helping someone in the community that's more than just doing something on a computer and then making it. We're impacting someone's life a lot more, and we want to keep going with this and open up the opportunity for more students in the career department. And it's just been really awesome to be able to show kids that you can do this while you're in high school. It's not just something that you go to college for to learn. You can get an idea of what you're doing before you even leave the school.
Natasha, would you like to come up and talk about your experience with the hand?
Hi, everybody.
Good evening.
It's been much easier. I'm able to pick up bottles to drink now, and even do simple tasks like opening a bottle with one hand was extremely difficult. And I'm able to open bottles. I'm a baker by profession, and when I was sick last year in the lake, after I went swimming in the lake and had the necrotizing fasciitis, where I lost my limbs, I was no longer able to lift the weights of like the flour and any of that. But by them making me my hand, I'm able to lift jars and canisters and open, and have been able to start getting back into my 3D baking. And it's made a huge impact, even in just able to take care of myself and normal needs that you wouldn't even think that you need to have two hands to do. Just dressing yourself and things like that. It made me more dependent, or more independent and less dependent on my mother. So it's been, I can't thank you boys or everybody enough. I mean, it's just, it's changed my life so much. Awesome.
Natasha, thank you very much for coming here tonight and having the opportunity to talk with the board, who really is in the end responsible for what is happening here. So thank you for taking the time and coming over here to do that. one of the things that I think is very important for us to look at here is what we've seen, what Adam and Garrett have been able to do through Project Enable, through Million Waves. They've been able to, as you saw, be able to give Natasha a helping hand. You know, no pun intended, this is true. This is what half of these guys are able to do. These are high school students, they're learning. This is probably one of the best learning opportunities that you could develop for these guys. This is going to be more valuable to them than probably many more experiences they're going to have. What we've already come across, and Mr. Mori, you said this to me already, and this is happening, this is sort of developing. There's more things that have been brought to our attention, and more opportunities to do this type of thing. This is not something that I think we can make decisions on tonight, but what I would really like to do, and would really enjoy doing, is to sit down and talk with the administration, talk with the board more, to see where could this type of an opportunity go? What is available to students to gain that learning opportunity, but then also help community members at the same time? Our administration and the board, you have been so supportive through this entire process, and before that, for our department needs and everything. So I thank you so much for your support and hopefully continued support in developing these type of learning opportunities for these students. So I really do hope and look forward to the opportunity to sit down and work through more of these possibilities. Does anybody have any questions about what we've done here, or what you've seen? Okay. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's wonderful for these guys and for us as educators to see them be able to pull this off. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks obviously to the students for your efforts and the work that you've done there. And thank you very much for the advisors, because really these are the types of learning experiences that we want all kids to have as part of their journey. You know, it's problem-based, utilize critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication skills. I'm betting y'all worked as a team pretty closely on this.
Very much so.
So these are things that our kids are going to be able to carry on to whatever they choose after high school. They're going to help them be successful later on. So thanks for providing that, and thanks for the work that you all done.
Thank you for allowing us to present.
I do have a question.
Yep.
What are your future aspirations? I'm just curious.
I'm looking at going for mechanical engineering, but still trying to figure out the rate where I want to go though.
I'm hoping to go to Penn State main campus for mechanical engineering also.
Good luck. Good job.
And actually, to hear Adam say that, Gary was far more sort of vocal about what he wanted to do before this. I think this project was very instrumental in helping Adam make some decisions, because I know this time last year you didn't know what you wanted to do. You were getting pretty stressed. We'd had some conversations, but for him to start saying that, hey, this is a future I'd really like to pursue, it's important. So,
Thank you.
all right, thank you guys.
You know, the next time somebody says, I went to a store and the student couldn't count my coins, I'm gonna talk to them about this.
I agree with all. Nice to see great things happening. Okay, we'll move on to our business part of the meeting tonight, starting with personnel. Item 9.12 and including item 9.4.
Second,
Discussion. Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Carrie?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Mike?
yes.
Al? Yes. Bill?
Yes.
I vote yes. 10, curriculum and programs, items 10.1 and 10.2. This is the comprehensive plan and the high school booklet for curriculum. So moved. Schedule.
Second.
Discussion.
Dr. Lay, is this the big one, or is this one of the mid-term ones? This was the big,
No, the midterm, sorry.
the midterm process. Gotcha.
I was going over the course selection guide, I'm glad Mr. Lusk is here. I wanted to thank you and your staff, because as I'm going through this, the word opportunity just keeps coming for the students. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You were asking me about hack opportunities, real quickly, I won't take long. There are some potential hack opportunities that I didn't mention to you a few minutes ago that relate to the courses of study that some of those gentlemen teach. We're working on that, in the near future in the tech ed area, so that's exciting.
Any other comments? I also would like to thank the high school administration and the guidance department. Please pass on the board's thank yous for the work that you did to that. It is like Bill said, I like the word opportunities, a lot of opportunities. And again, Chris, thank you for getting that program, or the long comprehensive plan together. Thank you. All right, voting, Ken.
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Carrie.
Yes.
I vote yes. Item 12, policy, item 12.1, 2, and including item 12.4, tentative approval.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Just not a question, but a comment, and thank you to the policy committee and everyone involved in developing these. Many times, technology is way ahead of what we can catch up policy-wise, and especially the social media one. But I thought what I read there is really comprehensive and gives us latitude to deal with things that hopefully that may happen in the future that we can't even conceive right now. Thank you.
And, yeah, I would just add that was a monumental group effort by Jeff Williams, Andrew, and Tam, who
Well done.
worked together to put that together. We tried a couple of years ago and just couldn't wrap our brains around it, but they did.
Fantastic job, because I'm not sure what's missing. No, I don't think there is. Oh, that's true.
Next week, there'll be something.
Any other comments or questions? Discussion? All right, hearing none. Kathleen.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Carrie.
Yes.
Kenny.
Yes.
I vote yes. Next, item 14, supplementals. Item 14.1, approval of FFA advisors.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Are you hearing none? Kathleen.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Carrie.
Yes.
Kenny.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Item 15, transportation, items 15.1 and 15.2.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Are you hearing none? Kathy.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Carrie.
Yes.
Kenny.
Yes.
Kathleen.
Yes.
And I vote yes. 18, financial report, the item 18.1, paying the bills.
Second?
Discussion. All right, hearing none. Mike?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
And I vote yes. I believe that concludes all of our business items for tonight. Is there anything being brought before the board for the good of the order? Any information items?
I was just, Dr. Parent got back to me on this from our Friday highlights that we get from the leadership team. I was really surprised to see that we had so many students that met the criteria of being homeless, that over 70 students in a fairly small district and whatnot. And I haven't experienced that before in my past. I could generally count those students on one hand. I was just interested to learn a little bit more detail, maybe from Mr. Lewis or whomever at some point in the future. How many of those students are actually in reside in Gettysburg? How many are outside of our boundaries? And just if there's anything that, again, the school could do additionally, as well as the community, to help support these kids and their families. Thank you.
I do know the McKinney-Vento Act, the definition is pretty broad and
Oh,
even
it really is.
includes students who live in trailer parks. And so it may be even interesting to see if that's included in the count, how that breaks out.
I have a comment, Carla.
Okay.
Back to the course selection guide, it's one thing to have a broad selection of courses that we can offer our students. But I think one of the things that's very difficult, that's not recognized at times, is how much work it takes to hire and to attract a faculty that's capable of presenting that broad of a curriculum. And I just want to thank our human resources and our administrators for the diligent search that they do to find the teachers that we need to fulfill the curriculum.
And you know, if I may, I'd like to piggyback on that for a minute. I have a son who's a sophomore at Penn State Engineering. And he was able to enter Penn State actually as a first semester sophomore, thanks to all of the terrific AP courses at the high school, and the partnership with HAC put him at sophomore level as a freshman. He just came home for Thanksgiving, and what he said to me in the car ride back from the Amtrak station is that he did not realize until he got to college how amazing his high school teachers were. That he's in all these advanced courses at Penn State, blowing people away because of what he learned in high school. That's pretty awesome. So I will piggyback and say thank you to the high school teachers.
You can even add to that the way that they're using the online platforms to prepare students to use them in college, how it's an organized fashion. As our students move on to college, not every professor uses the same platform or the same way, and so they have great opportunity also to learn how to manage their own learning in those online systems that are available here.
Anything else from any board members? The calendar of board events, take note that our next meeting, December 3rd, we will have a board reorganization meeting at 7 o'clock, and that will be followed by a regular business meeting. On Friday, board members, you saw that there was a mention of not having a second meeting in December. If there's no objections from any of the members, what I would like to schedule would be a public work session on the 27-18 budget audit. And that's basically all we would deal with, since I've been told there's not a lot of business to deal with. Are there any objections to meeting on the 17th of December, just to have a report on the audit?
Can I send you an email? I just need to check a calendar for a work event.
I mean, there was a normal meeting scheduled, but instead of a normal business meeting, we'll just do a public work session on the audit.
Yeah,
We good? Okay, so we'll put a memo out on that to you. All right? Anything else for the good of the order before we adjourn? All right, hearing none, stand adjourned.